Firescape Academy Inspector Training video. Here we are in Lowell, and we're looking at another fire escape. More or less, you know the address for this one?
It would be...
Or the street?
I believe it's 102...
It's near the guy that has all the artwork.
Market Street.
It's back at Market Street. So, perfect way to... This one, I love it. Look what happens on all the cement. Let's just focus on cement right away on this one. Through ice jacking and freeze and thaw,
Blows right out.
Blows it all out. Every single one of these is now getting water every day. Every day. Okay? And look, and here's a perfect one for you also. Gusset. Gusset blowout. Straight up, if you can see. So people think that that thing is safe, when in actuality the rust has gone into rust jacking and popped. A huge gusset, but if you're walking on it, it's like, oh no, it's all there. When in actuality it's missing. So let's look up at all the gussets, both, and there's 3 corners to a gusset on these, and even the back one is starting to show that bulge in the back. And so the only way to verify this fire escape is to load test it, right? Would you allow anybody to load test this thing in the as-is condition? But some people will show up and try to load test it as is. The owner will yell at you, and look at the gussets. Look, so is this a life safety issue as we speak?
Absolutely.
On this fire escape? Is this an active building to your knowledge?
Yes. The above floors, I don't believe.
Okay, and this happens all the time. So here's a ladder all the way to the ground. So even people trying to break into this building, you got popped. All the gussets are popped on this. Okay, and let's take a look at the treads. Any evidence of maintenance?
None.
So this is 50 to 75 years old. All original hardware. Treads are all still there. Rust in the connections that you can see from the naked eye down below. But more surprisingly is just how much cement is blown out on this thing. Every single connection into this building.
How many gusset plates have blown
and all the gusset plates have blown out. You know, even this one, you can see the bulge from above.
This one is one that's severely in danger of falling.
Yeah, this is a life safety issue. Now, here's the sad thing. We need to get a red tag on this one for the firemen first.
Yeah.
As soon as I see tags on this thing that are red, basically this basically stops the firemen from getting hurt. The tenants is you're claiming that this is a dead building on the 2nd floor, but we may have some lonely guy living in a corner room somewhere that nobody knows about because the owner's not going to share that with you. So really, a lot of this tagging of the fire escapes is for the firemen first. So this one would go into a red tag instead of a yellow. Blown gussets, full-blown cement. Now, I have to duplicate these connections. So I would fix all these connections by repacking this as is, and I'd let sleeping dogs lie. But next to it, I would put in my through bolt or my epoxy bolt.
But you would first seal.
Yeah, you got to bury this, because for me to go in and start looking, there's other issues going on. I don't want to open up a can of worms in here. And I can easily duplicate this connection by doing an epoxy bolt or a through bolt. In the meantime, let's say due to weather I don't have. Let me tell you what I can do. I can put, and I got plenty of room here. I would put temporary shoring. I would put a lake to the ground here. And I could put lakes to the ground on this while we're waiting for the weather to cure for me to put in epoxy bolts. Otherwise, if there's nothing on the inside of this building and I can get my through bolts right away, year round I can blow holes through the whole building, plate it on the back, and we're done. Otherwise, temporarily, I can put in the lakes to the ground. Now, let's say
A fire alarm wire.
yeah, we've got a fire alarm. That's an improper way to run a wire, right? How about scaffolding? Oh, and here's the best part. Believe it or not, this is evidence of a hit and run, isn't it? If the owner, if the owner gets this as a hit and run, it has to be brought back. The entire structure has to be brought back to original condition. So even if he has a $5,000 deductible, it's going to be cheaper because they're going to pay the whole bill because this triggered this to be brought into a compliance. So this is what we call a fire escape lottery ticket, but it's no evidence of maintenance, and it's 50 to 75 years old. Sadly, every one of these fire escapes you're going to see is going to run into this. Can I turn around right now?
Yep.
All exterior steel or wooden stairs.
Yep.
What about cement? Even though it's not mentioned in the code, how does it get sucked in?
How does it get sucked in?
Yeah, because the code is going to say all exterior steel or wooden stairs. So is this a steel or wooden stairs? It's stairs. There you go. So a lot of times you just have to be creative with what it means. You know, cement was not a common building material back when the code was first written. So now, all exterior steel wooden stairs. So I need to inspect this. One, for the railing, looks solid, galvanized. Cement slab looks great. I got nothing going on. All my stair treads are all poured concrete stairs. They look good. My railings come down very well. We may have an issue here, but that's not really a big issue to deal with. But you know, it should have been in a little tighter to the building, so that you don't get a trip hazard. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Of that kind. But I don't see too many things wrong with this fire escape. So this is a exterior fire escape. Right. This is an exterior steel wooden stair, and these must be inspected. A lot of people don't realize that this is part of it. Right. But if it's part of the egress, we need to inspect it. Okay, let's continue on alleyway inspection. Fire Escape Academy inspector training videos. Alleyway inspections.